So yeah, I just got this insane record. I decided to do a post-record commentary. I literally just got this record right now, and I'm doing a reaction for it post-record because I'm kind of blown away. I decided I wanted to do a commentary over the video, you know, talk about the run, how it went, what could have gone better, all that stuff.
Is that?
And for context, my prior record was 57 minutes. My initial goal was, you know, a small step, 55 minutes. But in the end, I blew that number out of the water, in fact. 46 minutes. That's insane. I didn't think I could get this low. I was projecting for lower than 50-minute records, but I got more than I wanted. I'm happy for that. The funny part is, this was my very first run of the day. This was supposed to be my warm-up run, in fact. But the stars just happened to align on this run, you know? I got everything right. You'll see as this run unfolds, everything that went good. I guess while I'm walking to the first contract, I can talk about the strategy. So the route overall, you can see in my splits in the top right. I do Osbrook Bastion, I do the RtR quest, get the caravan, go to Manshire, I do 3 quests with a bonus from Jorgrim's reputation trait, and a side quest. That's enough to get me the troll contract. And there's still time save, honestly. This 46 minutes is fast, but it could be faster. Like, in the theorized ideal run that I've been thinking about, when you arrive to Manshire, you have a pilgrimage situation, right? That's going to boost your crypt and catacomb reputation, and with that, you don't even need to do a side quest. But, for all intents and purposes here, I did not have a situation in this run, so I did a herbalist side quest. I did a number of different strats this run, like I was recommended by somebody to try to get the moose and deer antlers. I tried that this run, I didn't find the moose antlers, so I had to do the herbalist route. That could have saved me a couple minutes in the end, shaved off just a couple more, not having to walk all the way up there to talk to get the herbalist hut. It is what it is. Beating this record is not going to be no small task, I'm telling you. You can see here the consistency of dual wield maces. Those chain stuns are very powerful early game when nothing has any control resistances or move resistances for the knockback, so you get a lot of free turns. That's why I do dual wield mace. I was also thinking for future runs, Warcry isn't exactly optimal. You can see here how many seconds I waste in the cast time, the bandits, you know, walking around. But, admittedly, it does make my runs a lot easier. It is a crutch to get me through the early game consistently. But I might need to cut out Warcry from my future runs to get time saves. It will be a more risky run, but I'm gonna shave off potentially a whole minute from all the Warcry casting. The run is getting to the point where I'm gonna need to save minutes, seconds even. You wouldn't think an RNG game like this could get optimized. And the route could always change, of course. This is early access, so this patch version is not going to be the same as the final version. Hopefully the troll route isn't too drastically different later, but it does always change with the minor patches. Pretty straightforward stuff. Just beat them with the stick until they die. I don't always go for the bandit loot sometimes. Sometimes I skip it to save time. Like right there, that chest was garbage. 0 loot, man. Come on. I could have saved time here by not going for the chest. Which I should do anyways, because it's not like tier 1 chests are very profitable. You do get lucky sometimes. You could find a commodity for example. And that's good. A lot of money, especially if you find a high value one like salt or wine. Fun fact, Osbrook pays very well for salt. Should be mentioned that in an ideal run, whenever you're doing the rescue captive emissary or the hostage rescue, it's ideal when they are positioned next to the entrance in a branching room. And that saves you potentially up to 2 minutes from not having to find a boss or doing any other type of quest. That's why at the start I reset the quest, so until I get this kind of quest. Also, funny enough, I forgot to change my weapons. When I equipped the swords in the offhand to bring for the smith, I was supposed to switch back to the maces. Surprisingly, I beat their ass still with the broken swords. Fucking dual wield, man. Nothing much doing here, just walking to Osbrook. I do try to pick up herbs on the way. Like for example, I can get lucky and pick up the fleetwort on the road just as I'm crossing it. But this time I didn't, so I had to walk downwards. I need the extra medicine for free, save some money. From the herbalist in Osbrook, of course. If you didn't know, he has a quest. Trade your herbs for healing salves. Also try to talk to this guy. I try to get things like traps. And also in my new current strategy, I try to find moose antlers, deer antlers from him or Gerlow in Manshire. I believe that's the name of the general merchant. So that way I don't have to walk to the herbalist hut in Manshire. The healer. Because I'm required to do a single side quest to gain enough reputation for the troll contract. In this run, however, I didn't find the moose antler, so the deer antler I purchased here was wasted, unfortunately. But I bought it preemptively, just in case. And here I made a massive mistake. Or hope, no, hold your phone, not yet. Later, I make a massive mistake here in Osbrook. Here's a little cash collecting reputation gain for the tier 2 armor unlock. After RtR, you do need to talk to Jurg here, the carpenter, so you can unlock the side endings of the brewery quest. And it's helpful for me when I'm fighting the brewery, because if I can do the dialogues that are peaceful with them, what the mercenaries do over there is they return to their guarding positions, and from there you can 1v1 them each. Whereas normally if you do the negative dialogue with the brewery, you have to fight them all at once. Most of the time you're gonna die. Especially at this low level. But 1v1, you can get a flurry of strikes on all of them and take them out easily. Consistently. I do have to open the map spastically sometimes to relocate where I am. Here I save time not opening the map by just looking at the overworld, because I've noticed the brewery spawning is very consistent relative to Osbrook. In fact, I think it's always the same positioning. You always pass this road that's coming up here. That road curves up into the right, and that's how I know I'm reaching the brewery, so I can walk upwards here. my old strats with Deerwin, I would just kill them all straight up with no negotiations with the help of the bow. Jorgram is just a character right now though. With his new trait, he gets the reputation bonuses and reaches the amity threshold in Manshire very fast. And here we have the 1v1 segment. And I'm still debating. I don't know if I should take that sack of grain in there. Because if I get unlucky, and I get sighted by the guards with the stolen goods, that's just gonna waste too much time and kill my run. Going to jail. I'd rather not risk it. It's only gonna be about 250 gold because of the stolen indicator. Overall, maybe not worth risking the run for the gold. The crowns. Also, everybody hates how many purses drop in the current patch. Here I was doing a bit of inventory mismanagement. Wasted a few seconds. And I always try to get those reinforced clubs. Those are the best clubs. With the daze and stun chance for tier 1. The whole club line that goes up like that, with the daze and stun chance, those are the best clubs. Maces, if you want to be correct. Navigating through the forest is always difficult to do optimally. Because when you move with the arrow keys, it takes like a half second for your character to register the movements. So you end up stumping into the tree trunks. Anyways, the mistake I talked about earlier, this is it, right here. Normally, you do the dialogue option where you threaten RtR to tell the magistrate, and then he gives you 1,000 crowns. But in my haste here of pressing the numbers, I accidentally pressed 1, and that ended up leading to that tiny purse of 300 crowns. And a bottle of brandy. Thanks, RtR. He's a fucking asshole, man. And nothing eventful here for the next few minutes. You just do the main story quest, skip all the dialogues as quickly as you can, go to Manshire and start questing. Nothing doing here. I actually made a fatal mistake in this run. Usually I check the merchants and try to buy smoke bombs from either them or Bran. I think I forgot, or I never encountered it, but in the end I went to the troll fight without a smoke bomb. I got lucky though when he missed the first boulder toss. So, never punished, right? And you can't even tell here because I do this segment faster than normal players, but I was actually doing this a little bit slow. This was my first run of the day after all. Supposed to be my warm-up, but ended up being a record. It's a little bit sloppy on the movements here. And in this part of Bryn, whenever I'm walking up, I always try to make space in my inventory for the flagpole when I get to the caravan camp. Otherwise my character drops it, and then I have to waste time dropping things, picking them up. That's what this segment of walking is for, inventory management. And then there's always a random NPCs walking into you when I'm trying to move, prompting dialogues that I don't want. I never visit the pawn shop because that's a waste of money. Too expensive, and what I really need is survivability, so I always rush the tier 2 armor in Manshire. Sometimes I leave Osbrook with the full tier 2 set. But this run I made the fatal mistake, like I said, of selecting the wrong dialogue with RtR, so I didn't get the 1,000 crowns. And a little bit of a time waste here with the inventory management. Trying to play Tetris here and I suck ass. But I got it in the end. And this is the best spot right here, by the way, for Baron to appear. If he ever hangs out next to the caravan chests, he wastes several seconds walking to you to do the dialogues. But right there, he's right next to the flagpole. Fast and easy. You might notice my splits have some blinks in them too. That's because this patch is new and I have to change the route. So I don't have a lot of successful runs. After the patch that added Bastions to Manshire, that fixed it, rather. Prior to this patch, the Bastions weren't properly generating contracts here because of a lack of contract variety, but the devs fixed that. And now we have normal contracts here in the Bastions. Here I checked the merchants. I didn't find a moose antler. I didn't see a smoke bomb either. But I did get a bow pendant. That's pretty nice for consistency. And like I said, this was my first run of the day, so I was doing this portion of dialogue very slowly. Normally I do it fast, instant. I was sloppy here though. I hadn't done speedrun attempts for a few days. Maybe 4 days. And that made me a little bit sloppy. And that being said, I got a pretty decent crypt spawn right here. Sometimes the crypt spawns up to 2 tiles away. 3 tiles away maybe. From Manshire. That's terrible. Nothing you can do about that. Just like with dungeon generations, you can't do anything about it. Can't control your contracts that you get. You just take what you get, roll with it. Here I had an unfavorable contract. Clear the dungeon from enemies. The fastest crypt contract is Forbidden Grimoire. Like the manuscripts, you can find a grimoire close to the entrance and get out fast. And when I said manuscripts, I meant the anatomical diagrams in catacombs. That's the second ideal contract I'm looking for in my speedruns. The skeleton knight kind of fucked me here. Kept wallbanging me. Caused me a lot of pain. In-game, of course. My body part is damaged. I have a pain condition. And then my second major mistake of the run happens here in this dungeon also. Coming up soon, TM. Because of my sloppy fighting here, I have to spend seconds healing up. And here is where the major mistake comes up is. Normally, whenever you're fighting these ghouls, you want to step away from any corpses that have flesh. Otherwise, they evolve like this one did. I was just going a little fast here and didn't realize what I did. But my mistake was corrected by this trap. Because of that restless that had confusion, he walked into it, and that was a major problem. Undoubtedly, I think I would have died here without it. You know, I held strong. I had a Gwynel Elixir Discipline. I didn't pop it here. That helped me later in the troll run get some extra hits on the troll, because I had the Gwynel untouched. Also, optimally, that trap helped me isolate the boss here, so he didn't destroy me with spells. I was really lucky, things considered. I should have died there from my mistake, but I didn't. That amulet is pretty garbage, but it's worth a lot of money. I tried to get it repaired at Manshire, but the Manshire Smith doesn't repair jewelry. I only sold it at half price of what it could have sold for. Still a good chunk of money to make up for my mistake with RtR. RtR's a scumbag, by the way. As I was walking back, I realized I could have gone downwards so I could go to my bed and sleep. But instead I went upwards because that was my ult path, so I could avoid bandits. I tend to do that out of habit. Follow the old path so I don't have to waste time with road bandits. This run I got very lucky. I don't think I encountered a single road bandit or ambush. So that's a RNG element that I saved time on. And I didn't walk downwards here, optimally standing next to the Elder's house. I feel like this commentary is more me pointing out my mistakes. Which there are several minor and a few major. You know, still trying to think how I can get the run even lower time. I suppose the new goalpost is 40 minutes after this record. Had I walked downwards here to my camp and slept, I would have not wasted time here going to the inn. I don't ever visit the inn in the optimal run because I can go to my bed. And if I ever have to come to the end, then I'll take advantage of the moment to buy the hunter drumsticks if they happen to have it, which they did on this run. Just not here. Not yet. Nothing refreshed here on the merchant, but I did end up picking up the bow pendant that I saw from him. And when I don't go to the inn, I try to buy the cheese here to save time. Instead of walking, you know. The cheese vendor is right there. It's filling. Slightly expensive. And I would have considered buying that tier 3 magical headpiece, but I was broke because I didn't do the 1000 crown route from RtR. Unfortunately, I couldn't buy it. Besides, the money would have probably gone better into weapons. Whenever I am getting ready for the troll fight, I try to find the tier 3 raider axe. That one is high damage, high body part, high armor damage, everything. Great stats. That's my ideal troll killing weapon in this strategy. And I didn't get too many leeches here on the route. I would have to waste time swimming downwards for leeches. Ain't nobody got time for that. relatively speaking, this was a pretty close catacomb spawn. Next to the river. It could be another tile further away from the river. This was ideal spawn. Wasted a few seconds here walking because I didn't check the quest until I walked in a little bit, and then I realized, hey, anatomical diagrams, dude. Hell yeah. I got out of there fast. I wasted maybe like 10 seconds though, walking back and forth. I could have realized this if I read faster in Manchester, but you know how I'm blitzing through the dialogue, so I don't always catch on what the quest is. I could have caught on though. Can't tell, but I was holding alt here. I was looking for leeches, but I didn't get a single leech spawn crossing the river right there. Just took the L, walked up, took the top right, and accepted the next quest. The final quest. Crazy to think that in 20 minutes the troll is gonna go down. Also, for my troll killing strategy, I run Mutilating Lunge. That's why I buy the axe later. These maces, they're just for the dungeons. Later I get the axe. Anyways, I was thinking before I wanted to do the dagger side, so I could do double lunge with the axe damage. But unfortunately, I just don't have enough skill point economy. That might be different in the future if I drop War Cry. I think that's what I'm going to be doing later. I just need setup, dual wielding training. And then Warfare is just, War Cry is just to help me get through the dungeons easier. Doesn't help me with the troll though. If I confuse the troll, that's just gonna waste me time. Here's where the big brain plays come in. I just started buying all the traps. I was thinking originally, hey, maybe I'm gonna use them. Close herbalist spawn, by the way. Healer hut. But I was thinking with the traps, hey, maybe I'm gonna use them with the bandits to help me clear it. Because bandits are hard. I didn't need to in the end. I swept through it. No problems. Sometimes the biggest danger is when you get mobbed. There's gonna be like a tier 2 spearman, man-catcher, man-hunter, whatever it's called. He's gonna have a pack of dogs and whoever else comes with them, and that's the biggest danger. That didn't happen to me this run though. I got very lucky. Like I said at the start of the recording, the stars aligned for me. This is like near 100% optimal. Tier 1 Bastion wasn't optimal. The tier 2 Crypt could have been a Forbidden Grimoire. That would have been optimal. And again, tier 2 Bastion the same as the tier 1 Bastion. If it had a nearby captive by the entrance, that's the best. Trying to get that happen 2 times though, that's kind of hard. Dungeon layouts. Also, I could probably save time here, in hindsight. Instead of walking to the Bastion and the Herbalist, I could maybe ride my caravan out. It'll save me maybe 30 seconds from taking the tot and walking. You do have to consider that I have to walk down and left from Manchester to get to my caravan, and then ride to the Bastion. It is worth considering though. If I ever get the Manchester generation where I can camp to the left of the Elder's house, that might be a situation where I take the caravan to Bastion. Not sure how many people care for my rambling, but I figured I'd do a post-record commentary here just to explain the run for the people that don't understand what's happening exactly. Not necessarily as a reaction. The reaction kinda died off already. You know, I just accepted that I got the record. That shit's fucking banging. I'm happy. Also a disadvantage of taking the caravan here. I would only be able to go next to the herbalist healer hut or the Bastion. Otherwise, I could spend extra time sleeping in the caravan and then moving to the Bastion. I haven't tried that before, but that's a possibility. This is actually a terrible bandit spawn outside of the entrance. It's usually nice when there's only tier 1s, but I got lucky here with the stuns and everything. I didn't get messed up with the axe bandit. Dagger bandit, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Walking around in confusion, but worked out for me in the end. And I got the glitch there where your hotbar hotkeys don't work anymore. I don't know why the game does that. Not resolved yet by the devs. I did get messed up a little bit by the entrance ban, but it wasn't terrible. I suppose also in the fastest runs you wouldn't spend time examining and risk stepping on traps instead. For the most part, I have these new bandit layouts memorized. They are different from before. Some things the same, some things are different. This right here is a manageable group of bandits. Only 3 of them. No Bob. That's what I want. Also, I could have maybe saved the mead for the ancient troll. I don't think I had any mead left by the time I got there. And drinking bandy, that's just stupid. Drinking bandy is gonna cause you confusion in a troll fight. You move one wrong direction, boom, injury. And here is a mob. This is what you don't want to fight. Fortunately, I didn't have to deal with that here. This mob wasn't too bad here, all things considered. Had there been more tier 2 bandits, it would have been more dangerous. And regarding the captive here, I don't know if it's possible to get the wood plank lore in the tier 2s. I've seen it in tier 1s, and that one doesn't require a key to open. Pretty simple mechanism. This guy's a little dangerous. fight scenarios, I actually prefer when I get this tier 2 spearman instead of the net one, because he can cause me to waste turns. Otherwise, I'm going to be demolished in stats. And here's another instance of Warcry not saving me time, with the boss moving all over. I got lucky here. Got the key drop. I ignored the boss loot. At this point, in my head, I was thinking 50-minute record for sure. I wasn't expecting 46 minutes. That's what I got. Fortunately, also, the Bastion was not spawned far away from the border guard. That was favorable. Less time walking. And I was also thinking at this point, I'm probably going to delete the side quest split. Because it's always awkward, you know, with the timing. Sometimes the positioning, I do it before the Bastion or I do it after the Bastion. And with the new side quests, I'm probably just going to do it from the merchant. So it's always really awkward to split. In the future, I'm going to delete the split. Just have the contracts there. So I'd have to do all this skipping nonsense and, you know, the sequence is different. Not the same every time. I was pretty terrified here, because I didn't know if I was going to reach the reputation limit, 4,000. I don't remember how much reputation I got exactly from the anatomical diagrams, because on that one I didn't do the boss, so I didn't get the Jorgrim bonus, and I think it's less reputation also, compared to other quests. Oop, Discord ping. But obviously, I did end up reaching the 4,000 threshold here. So for this part, I learned from Discord. You just have to walk out of the church, walk back in, and that prompts the next part of the priest. And with that, I reached Amity reputation. Purchased a little bit of medicine, a little bit of anti-pain, and I'm almost ready for the troll fight. Almost. With the map and a little bit of fodder from the merchant, I can ride the caravan to the troll quest. And because I never found the moose antlers, I sold the deer antlers, unfortunately. Good to have it though, just in case you get it. So that I can skip Herbalist in Manshire. And unfortunately here, I didn't get the tier 3 axe. I had to settle with tier 2 axe. And for secondary, whatever I was able to afford, which in this case was the club. And here I bought the second tool of my success. Death Stinger Swarm number 2. that was my final skill point. Had I not used the point on Warcry, I could have had a secondary dagger. Then I could spam more damage on the troll, you know, main damage being the flurry, and the double lunge in between, for a slightly faster troll. I didn't have the point economy for it though. This run was faster because of the catacomb. So I didn't reach that last 300 experience for it. The only reason you would take dagger secondary is for the double lunge. But here I am. I'm just looking at my inventory. I make sure I have enough space for the 2 weapons to drop. I do the inspection for the Pathfinder debuff on the troll. I like the footprint design. Pretty big. Doesn't match the troll's sprite, but still cool. And here I got lucky. Like I said, I never got the smoke bomb, but I dodged it. I had medicine, however, if I did get hit by it. You can't survive it from full. From here it's just execution, baby. Beautiful weaving in and out between the trees. I was supposed to have mutilating lunge for stopping the troll regeneration, but as you will see later, I didn't need to use it. And this is a trick somebody asked me about in the comments before. If you equip both weapons when the troll is casting a shockwave, it only takes 1 turn. For the people that don't like dual wield on the troll, you can overcome that problem. It does require you to position for the troll to shockwave diagonally though. Like here, you can't do the trick here. If you have to move to the side. Gameplay wise aside, drip, I like the drip on that axe. The bearded hatchet, I really like the sprite. Looks like it hooks into the enemy's flesh for extra damage on the pull out. You never pick up the weapon here because then the boulder is gonna be tossed. Right there, the double equip in 1 turn. Demonstrated for the unknowing. I've gotten better also at the troll dance. If I can move him left, down, right. Gotten. Probably can't even tell from the gameplay, but I was panicking a little bit. At first when I was doing these speedruns casually, I didn't really, think about it too much, I just did it. But as I started getting the pressure of new records, then I started getting nervous. I lost 2 runs like this because of nervousness, and I ended up making mistakes, but this time I kept my cool. At this point you can see the troll has 0 armor, and I start debating when to throw the Death Stinger Swarm. The Death Stingers obliterate the troll once they come out. Shit's fucking hilarious. That was pretty good timing to stop his regeneration. For some reason, the troll ignores them and keeps chasing me. Pretty good. That Stingers did have to work for me. bit slow with the movements here because I'm not used to fighting with the Death Stingers helping me out this much. They made very short work of him. Right here he's unaware and I just have to walk it up. Let the Death Stinger do some work. Be careful not to hit him as he walks into me. Right there I could have hit him, but for some reason I pressed space. And I got an unlucky 2-turn stun. I don't know how that happened, but I survived that. I have medicine just in case. I never used a caltrop, but they were there. Participation trophy. And they did eventually go down to the psionic damage from the troll. But they did so much work. Here I made a huge mistake. Huge. Right there was another mistake. Pressure was getting to me. The troll was inside of death. Troll kill coming soon. And time. 46:39. I'm gonna have to get a frame count later for that to get the exact time for the YouTube video. I'll put that in the title what the record time was. But that was a sick run. 46 minutes. I think I'm done running for today. You know, I usually take a break after running. Mental break, you know. Play the game casually or whatever. This was a record though. 46:39. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Posted this commentary to teach you on the route. Whoever's watching, you know. There might be some interested persons that like this. So that's it. This is Benny signing out. Peace.